Hello and welcome to my channel, A Weird Sister. I'm always everyone's weird sister, so I have a channel called A Weird Sister. My name is Nicoletta, and I have been in software as a service organizations for the past 10 years or so. I have my own art business for the past 15 years. I've showed my work locally here in Arizona and globally in New Delhi, and I've also worked with partners in Jamaica, Poland, and other parts of the world. For more information on all of that, you can go to my website, which I will include in my bio. Apart from that, I'm also writing a book, which I will also provide more insight on. So, with these things in mind, know that the person you are looking at today has multiple ventures, doesn't say no to themselves, always tries to be as fearless as possible and pursue whatever she wants. I'm going to show you how to do all of those things and continue to do all of those things, even if you have a toxic work environment. And when you have a toxic work environment, it's actually an opportunity for self-growth. It's actually an opportunity for you to check your priorities, your principles, and your boundaries. So with that, I'm going to bring you to my first point, which is when you're being pushed out, you're being pushed towards. If your employer is making your environment toxic with micromanagement, performance plans, creating false rumors, any kind of uncomfortable situation involving you, there is some form of control that you have where the balance has shifted. You have changed their view of you. You are now something that they are trying to figure out where your limits are for control. If they're trying to belittle you and micromanage you, and I mean, I've been in every micromanaging situation possible, limits on breaks, limits on bathroom breaks, being told you need to complete tasks at a certain time, even if it doesn't work for your and your client's schedules, being told that you have to do things a certain way or X, Y, and Z would occur, even though that's not the process for a state or federal guideline. I've been in all of those situations at various companies that I've worked for. And each time I have come to the conclusion that, and I've never been wrong, when they're doing that, something has changed where I am now being told I have to be more in control. When you try and overly control people, it means you have become weak and you have lost control yourself. Whether it's miscommunications in upper management, disorganization in upper management, etc. The lack of control is such that middle management is now hyper controlling the people that are on the front lines. When that occurs, you have to ask yourself, is this for me? On the whole, don't just ask yourself that question and think, is this for me? And I'm going to go jump on ZipRecruiter and find 15 other things that might be for me. I guarantee you, those 15 other things you look for are going to have their own bullshit. Okay? By the way, I'm Italian. I use my hands. It's a vibe. You're not going to find anything today that doesn't have some form of micromanagement or lack of control in its management structures. So you have to ask yourself when you say, is this for me? What you want to do about that. Never ask yourself or anyone else a question unless you think you can provide an answer before saying it out loud to them. If you're going to say, I don't think this is right, why are we doing this? Come prepared with a backup so that when they give you an answer of we are doing this because, or X, Y, and Z, then you can say, I think X, Y, and Z would be better, or I think maybe we should try this. If they're not willing to engage a conversation with you, if they're not willing to take your thoughts or opinions seriously, or at least placate them, then you have to ask yourself if the industry is on the whole right for you. Because at some point, they were told that from another part of the industry that they were in. At some point in some management course or something someone told them, they were told that that was appropriate to say. So you have to ask yourself, are these the kind of people I want to devote my time and energy to? When I was 18, I had life-threatening brain surgery. I know, random. I have a plan, I promise. But I place every question I ask myself on that. When I nearly died and I came back, which I might do in a whole other video, I ask myself every opportunity and everything that I'm doing, is it worth my time that I've been given back? Is this worth my energy? Is what I am doing right now, is it good for me? Is it good for the world? Is it good for others? Is it serving me right now? If I can't answer that and I feel I'm being pushed away from what I'm doing or who I'm working with, I will seek to find other ways to make that happen. And what I want you to understand is going on ZipRecruiter, going on Indeed, going on these job sites, it might placate some of that need of, I'm going to find a better environment, but it's not the answer usually. Because after your 2, 4, 6-week training with your bag of swag at a new company, you're going to find yourself within probably 3 to 6 months, the same situation you left before, and asking the same questions. So it's like a Pop-Tart. Like a Pop-Tart's fun for you. It's not nourishing. It's like your 15-minute lunch break food. It's not an actual meal. It gets things, oh, this tastes great. It has sprinkles, it has frosting, it has, a little bit of dough and jam on the inside. It's a 5-minute feeling. But at the end of the day, you're still left with hunger. You're still left with, I should have had a better meal. You're still left with, what am I doing making myself eating this again? You should treat your work life the same way. Being pushed out of that environment, being told that you're the problem because you're asking questions, means you have an inner strength and accountability that they can't control. It means you're seeing things, you're waking up, and you're knowing that this might not be for you, and this might not be for the people you serve. It might not be for the people around you. But all we can control is our environment. So you ask yourself, does this serve me? Does this serve others? Does this serve my purpose in life? And if none of those things apply, or you can't answer all three, maybe just one or two, then you have some digging to do. And you say to yourself, well, how would I do that? What am I going to do to find that? I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know, because I don't. I don't know you from a pile of beans. You know me for the past 10 minutes. I'm not going to tell you that I know the answers to all your problems. But I am going to tell you that how you can start doing that is by maybe sitting with yourself in complete silence. And what I do is I sit with myself in complete silence, and I get a notepad and I write down my things. my problems I'm facing, things I need to have. And that's how I establish my stability. I take those things and I think of ventures, I think of ideas, I think of goals, I think of my businesses, I think of my business partners, and I say, okay, well, what are we going to do for this? How are we going to fix it? And then I just go from there. And then I just keep plugging away until I have what I want. And that's how I handle it. For you, it may be going to a rage room and having 3 martinis. I don't condone that behavior. It may be going for a walk with your significant other and, getting a coffee. That's always nice. You may need to go on a full-on beach vacation to San Diego, and have a good time. And, maybe go hang out on the beach, do whatever. That's fine too. Whatever works for you to get your head set right, like your mindset right. That's how you come to those conclusions. And then you act on it. Marilyn Monroe is one of my favorites. She always said, she just wanted to be wonderful. But in order to do that, you have to make the appearances. You have to put yourself out there to get that vibe. Meryl Streep always said, just start by starting. And both women, had pretty successful careers, if you ask me. So that's how you have to go about it. You can be wonderful, but you have to put yourself out there. You can start, but you have to start. If your toxic situation is getting you to this point where you're realizing you're not meant for that environment, then you have to check those things and find what you're being pushed towards. Taking that trip, doing that rage room, going to that walk in the park, sitting with your notebook and thinking. Which brings me to point 2. It's not going to always be what you want. Maybe what you're being pushed towards doing and leaving the comfortable world of your toxic environment isn't what you want. Maybe it didn't come at the right time. Maybe you were not prepared for it. Maybe it's not what you want. Maybe it's not a Hallmark movie. But you have to pursue it because you only have one life. I'm a millennial, so YOLO. Even if it doesn't make sense to you, you should still go for it. Because I can promise you, one of the things I did when I started my art business was I did 5 things a day that made me completely uncomfortable. Going and talking to a vendor I didn't necessarily like. Going to an art show, I thought this is going to be complete shit revenue. Maybe taking a class or a workshop, knowing I knew everything, but I still had room to learn more. Doing these things helped me evolve and gain the partnerships that I have. You want to think about you're in control of I can see it all. You can't. No one can. The only way that you're going to know what's right for you, even if it doesn't necessarily feel like it's right for you, is if you try it. If you try it just a little bit, then you can at least say, I tried it, even a little bit. And that will help push you towards what might be better for you. That'll help give you something to think about when you're ready to bang your head against a wall in your toxic environment. That'll help make you more aware that the things that you're dealing with and being pushed towards might be a better fit for you. And uncomfortability is the antidote to comfortability. People stay in toxic work situations, not for money, not for stability, because it's comfortable. It's not about money. It's about being comfortable. It's about knowing that I'm comfortable here. I know what this is. I know what my income is, and I dare not venture. I'm going to sit in this brown grass until it turns to dirt and until my ass hits the earth's core. That doesn't even sound conducive. That doesn't sound like it would be productive for a human being that has hit evolution of thousands of years. And now you're in this spot as a modern human being, making yourself sit in dirt because it's comfortable. That's not right. And you say, I have a family, I have this, I have that, I have the other thing. Reasons. You know, Henry Ford, Kodak, Henry Clay Frick, a lot of Henrys in my mind right now. All those people that are entrepreneurs that did something that was so crazy. The Wright brothers, Amelia Earhart, you know, any actor, actress you think of. They were uncomfortable at one point in their lives. If you look at any Hollywood documentary about a band, an actor, a TV cast, anything, you're going to see such a level of uncomfortability. When I started my art business, I was living off of Goober Grape. And I was living in an apartment that was $500 a month in the middle of we'll call it a non-desirable area, okay, with my 97 Corolla. But I got up every day, and I got up early, and I put all my freaking paintings in the car. And before school, before work, I made sure my paintings were everywhere in Tucson I could possibly think of to get them attention. I made a website. I balanced my budgets. I taught myself how to file my own taxes and my own business taxes at 18. You have to do these things in order to evolve. I didn't have anyone or no one, and I had just myself. And that's where you have to go. You have to put yourself in an uncomfortable position. But if you're able to maintain your 40, 50, 60-hour work week, maybe you're a crazy Capricorn workaholic, I don't know, and you want to start something that's not going to put you in this toxic environment, get up early and do it. Work on your lunch, on that, not your job, on you, after work. And if you have people around you, let's say a partner, a parent, anybody, roommate, that's like, oh, you've got no time for me. Oh, you're always working. Oh, you're always doing this. Oh, you're always doing that. Fuck them. Those are the people that I call filler people. When you're pushing yourself into something uncomfortable, those are the people that are going to love the champagne at the gallery exhibit, but they're not going to be there when you're crying over your canvas. They're not going to be the people there when your website's crashed or when you are trying to find out how to trade and you can't figure it out. Those aren't your people. Those are the champagne people. Oh yeah, I've known them for years. Yeah, they've been my roommate. Oh yeah, that's my kid. Oh yeah, that's, my grandkid or whatever. Those are champagne people. We don't listen to champagne people. They're fucking retarded. We listen to people that are there with us by our side. And albeit if that's you, if that's me in this channel, helping you to stay in where you need to be so you can push yourself out of your toxic shit, out of your toxic situation and into something better, I'm fucking here for it. So, part 3 with all of this, and I kind of touched on it with point 2, is do one thing a day that puts you out of your skin. When I opened my art business in 2010 and I started going all over Tucson and all over the world and everywhere that I could possibly think of, I did 5 things a day that I wasn't comfortable with. Because who the hell am I to know what I'm comfortable with? It's a brand new process. I don't know this shit. Neither do you. You're going to learn. That's part of your self-growth. Go and talk to a local business about what you want to do. Go and do a SBA meeting, a Small Business Association meeting. Join a club. Join groups. Go on blogs. Whatever it is that makes you uncomfortable talking in front of a group of people. Find a way to do it. I highly encourage talking in front of people. And you're like, well, yeah, you're a YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm a YouTube channel, but I didn't get this way in the beginning. I used to be terrified to talk to people. I'm an introverted artist, okay? I didn't ever want to talk to people. My fiance will tell you on any given weekend, if I could not be around people, it would be ideal. But he always pushes me to go out into the world. So it's usually because I'm so tired of pushing myself in my ventures, but that I'm done peopling. But you got to do that. You got to put yourself out of your skin. You know, it's not ever going to be comfortable, entrepreneurship, pursuing a new thing, pursuing a new hobby, because you've never done it before. And you're like, yeah, I know, it's the New Year's speech. It's the New Year's speech, but it's the only way that you're going to find yourself out of that environment. You got to change it. You can't be the dude sitting in the dirt that's rotting to the earth's core. It's comfortable. And whatever the company needs, I'm here. I'm going to sit in this toxic shit until the day I die because they're going to reward me. No, they're fucking not. I promise you, they're not. If it comes between them rewarding you and someone getting a bonus, we both know the answer, don't we? If it comes between you and your ideas and them going with something that might work of yours, we both know the answer, don't we? And we both know that if you pursue your things, that's a yes. That's 100% investment. If you go and establish your goals, that's a yes. That's 100% investment. If you go and network with people and have your own people, not anyone in your little book of business at work, not anyone that's a client for them, that's someone that you went, you did that, you generated that lead, you talked to that person in that cafe. That's 100% win for you. Go you. That's what you need to do. At the end of the day, your job, if it's toxic, if it's not listening to you, placating you, causing you drama, causing you arguments at home, it ain't for you. It may be comfortable, it ain't for you. And it's going to show you it's not for you sooner than later. You know, and I'm kind of morbid because this is a weird sister. There was a lady I read about. Maybe you read about her too. She was all over the internet. She had a pet python, and the python kept going up more and more her body, pretty much sizing her up. I don't know if you've ever studied reptiles or anything like that, but kept sizing her up, kept feeling her out. And she's like, oh, my pet snake, it loves me. It's, wants to sleep with me. It fucking ate her. And that is what your toxic job environment is going to do to you. Go find your golden retriever opportunity that's going to be loyal to you, that's going to be there for you, that's going to take care of you, that's going to be fun to deal with. That's what you need to find. You need to harvest your own golden retriever opportunity. And just remember that as you're doing all of this, as you're pushing yourself, as you're going and putting yourself out there, being pushed towards what might be better for you, albeit good or maybe something that's different that you're willing to try, go for it. And remember that everything you took from your toxic work environment comes down to one quote that I remember from someone that I worked with long ago, and that is, everyone's a lesson, good or bad. Everything they're teaching you at your job, and they're teaching you, not through training on their products, but through their behavior with you. That's the most important training of all. That everyone is a lesson, good or bad. If you're seeing undesirable traits that don't align with your self-growth, then that's a lesson for you on how not to be in pursuing your next venture, whether it's at another company or whether it's building your own. Everyone is a lesson, good or bad. I have plenty of great mentors. I could write you a resume of everyone I've worked with that I've taken good advice from. I could also write you another resume of people that I would rather not ever recommend to my worst enemy. And you got to remember that. Everyone's a lesson, good or bad. Being pushed out doesn't mean being pushed away. It means being pushed towards something that's better. And so I will leave you with that. Thank you for spending time with me today on my channel. We're going to have another video on Thursday, and I may post other videos this week. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I'm always here for you. Have a great day.